Well, when it's just me by myself, I've got to do it like this.
Down in the studio, the mics are all hot. The Southern Fried Airwaves, a radio spot. Mayhem on the mic, the man with the plan. Got his amigos with him, a rockin' radio band. First up is TJ with a guitar in his hand, slanging out the riffs across the Dixie land. Oh, the Southern Fried Crew, loud and proud and true. With TJ, Mr. Smalls, Rhino and Stain, they see it through. Mayhem's Amigos, a brotherhood of sound. Best radio show for miles around. Then you got Mr. Smalls on the bass so deep, holding down the rhythm while the city sleeps. Got the low end rumble that makes the floor shake. Nothing but the music, for goodness sake. Rhinos on the drums keep the beat in time. Every crash and every rhythm a perfect rhyme. A powerhouse behind the kid, making sure it's tight, keeping the energy high all through the night. And they're staying on the other guitar with a style so fine. Adding his flavor, a rock and roll sound, from blues to heavy rock. He can make it all sing, a fiery hot lick. He's the king of the string. For the Southern Fried Crew, loud and proud and true. With TJ, Mr. Smalls, Rhino and Stain, they see it through. Mayhem's Amigos, a brotherhood of sound. Best radio show for miles around. Oh, the Southern Fried Crew, loud and proud and true. With TJ, Mr. Smalls, Rhino and Stain, they see it through. Mayhem's Amigos, a brotherhood of sound. Best radio show for miles around. So turn up the dial, let the music play loud. The Southern Fried Boys are standing tall in the crowd. Mayhem's Amigos on the radio, yeah, rocking all night long without a single care.
Oh, man, just me tonight. Welcome to Amigos After Dark. I'm TJ with no one except you guys in the chat room. So we're going to have some fun tonight. And we're going to talk. We're just going to goof off and talk, and you guys kind of guide the conversation, and I'll jump in and we'll have a little bit of fun here. I've got to admit that this has just been a wild thought process here over the last couple of weeks. And I was thinking about this the other day, and as I was thinking about it, and I'm kind of putting things together, and I don't play any video games at all. I in all honesty, I really don't. Between my job, finishing raising my kids, doing my different casts, both on Southern Fried Radio and here. And being back as a full-time student, I don't have the time to even look at a video game system. Now, the one that would know more about it would be my youngest. Riley is, man, I mean, that kid, he's all about the video games. Drives me crazy sometimes, but he really is. So kind of back on what I was saying, I've been looking at this and thinking about it, and I'm like, man, I've been doing Mayhem for a while. Boy, how long has it been? How long? And I realized, just surprisingly enough, it hit me like a ton of lead. August of 2016, Rage and I recycled the idea of what Mayhem originally was and we brought it back. And when we brought it back originally in the Unleashed format, which carried for many years. And then after some unfortunate events, things separated, and I went forward with the now Amigos format, but it's always been under the Mayhem brand. So from August of 16 to now, there's been so much. I mean, so incredibly much that has happened. And I'm like, man, I've got to start digging through these archives. And there's a lot, and it's scattered. It is scattered all over the internet, all over creation. And I'm just now starting to dig through for some of the best moments that have happened over the last decade. And I'm still blown away because we've got a lot of you folks that are coming in now that are new, and you're getting an idea what it's about, and you're checking out Southern Fried Radio and seeing what we do over there. And I'm loving so much of that because the support is fantastic from all of you guys. It really is. That's doing great. But then I've got people like Volk that's in here right now, and Mikey, and Steve, who is both a part of the show and a fan, and so many other people that have been involved and been in and out and been with me since Jump Street, that I'm just ecstatic to finally, when I can wedge the time in. As you guys have heard, I'm extremely busy these days. But when I can wedge the time in and I could get through 5 or 6 of the old shows and I listen to it and I get my best of stuff and I'm editing and mastering and getting everything prepped, I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm planning on taking a day in August. And I've still got to talk to Rhino, and I've got to talk to a few of the others on Southern Fried, and I want to simulcast it. Okay, I want to simulcast to here. I want to simulcast to Southern Fried Radio, and I'd like to, over the course of the next year, get as many people in and on the show as I possibly can from the past who were involved throughout its whole run. There are some that, as Volk will back up, there are some that I'm going to shy away from. And I'm going to be like, yeah, no thanks. I don't need that. I don't need the negative energy, whatever the case may be. I'm just going to be like, no, that's cool. Thank you for the offer, but no. But there are a lot of others that are out there that they're going to, if they come up and they go, yeah, I'd love to be a part of this, especially with the anniversary coming up, I'm going to grab them and go, yeah, let's do it. And I'm going to be extremely excited. The one I really wish could be here this year is not going to be able to be here. I would really, the guy who really deserves probably more than anybody else to be in the shotgun seat for this year and running with it is honestly Rage. And we took and me especially, we took a massive hit when he passed. That was not an easy day. It was not an easy week when when we lost Rage. Wasn't easy 6 months. I mean, I knew Rage for a long, long, long time. Had worked with him off and on over the years a lot. And to lose him in the fashion that we did was difficult at best. And, now we've had over a year and we've had some time to get used to it. But that doesn't make it easier. That doesn't make what we've gone through any easier. But it has become a sense of normal, if that makes any sense. We realized that, myself and his, yeah, like when Ray lost Jimmy and Mikey, and I mean, I was close. Mikey was big in the chat room when Mayhem first started out. I mean, he was such a huge supporter. Was always in there. And one of his favorite things to do, Mikey being such a part of it back then, one of his absolute favorite things to do was to get in there and make a comment in the chat room. And that comment was literally just to wind up Rage and listen to Rage throw a big fit because they genuinely did not like each other. I mean, they really did not. But the two of them together, with the conflict that they would do, was fantastic. I mean, I've had laughter upon laughter of those two just getting at each other. And it's like I said, there have been very different people over the years that have come in and out of the show and been such a big part of it. And I miss them. I miss a lot of them. Some of them I don't. Some of them could have got me in some very serious trouble. And in all honesty, I'm actually I was very upset at first, but hindsight being 2020 later on, I'm like, you know what? Probably for the better. And it's pretty sad that it comes down to thinking like that, but it really does. Especially when you're into any type of media, like I love doing podcasts and my broadcasts on Southern Fried and stuff like that. I really have a lot of fun with that. The fact of the matter is today, this has become a hobby and it has very much moved into something that if it ever got monetized, I'd be happy, but it's not necessary for me to continue to do it because I still enjoy it. And I wouldn't take that away. There's like I remember Rage trying to portray when we first started this, probably one of my favorite bits of all time. Him trying to portray how he was so much better at that point than where he really was at. And I knew it. I mean, you cannot be friends with that guy and expect him to be in this wonderful perfect position. Yeah, and I can see that, Volk, where Mikey would have given you self-confidence. Uh I mean, Mikey and I were very close up to the very end, and I really do remember a lot of that. And I miss it. I really miss it. Um I think tonight as kind of a start to what we're going to start getting into over the next few years, or over the next few months. I'm sorry, not the next few years. Trust me, because I think there's plenty of other stuff coming up. Oh, here we go. I think I'm going to play some of the mastered bits that I have, Rage, and maybe a couple of Steve bits and things, and let you guys kind of hear just as an idea of where this all started. And we're going to start this off to show you how much of a fuck up Rage really was. And that's actually the name of this bit, F Up Rage, here on Amigos After Dark.
I've learned a very good one, though. And I just want to know, when are you going to pay Sarah Jane back?
You can fuck off.
Well, you know, I got to ask
you can take the round mound of sounds dick out of your ass.
Oh,
and
you
go
there.
Fuck off.
I'll tell you what.
That guy, I knew it was his idea. I knew that motherfucker had to sit there and fucking plant it in your fucking head to bring First of all, if she wasn't so quick and easy to go down on the cock,
I'm just surprised that she was able to find it. I mean, what did she have to do? Lift up every last inch of fat roll you got to find it?
No, because it poked out from underneath that motherfucker. Thank you very much.
Oh, all 2 centimeters. Got it.
Hey, remember, I'm 2 inches from the floor, laying on my stomach. But anyhow,
He just took a pot shot at somebody's weight.
Yes, Rage, of all people.
That's like a sperm whale calling a seal fat.
No shit. No shit.
Where the fuck do you get that? That don't happen in nature, does it?
The last time I checked, no.
First, before Pickle and you go ahead and square off,
You owe somebody an apology.
I ain't going nobody no damn apology.
You owe Ray an apology.
Oh, Ray shit.
You do owe Ray. You made fun of Ray's weight.
First of all, is he round? And he's one of the most known DJs in Central Illinois. So no, that was a fact.
That was a very insulting way to state a fact, but yet you still made fun of his weight.
I apologize for that stated a fact.
You insinuated.
If you're gonna make fun of somebody's weight, please don't be a fucking sperm whale and tell a goddamn fucking fish that he's fat.
And here we go.
Okay, well, first of all, Pickle, you can wait a minute. I'm listening to TJ.
Second,
Wait about Pickle, you can wait a minute. I'm listening to TJ. Well, that's all you got. You might as well hang up and go back to the closet, bro.
All right, anyhow,
here we go.
What?
Secondly, you insinuated that he was a homosexual.
No, I said homo. I never said homosexual. I said homo.
It's the same thing. It's the same damn thing. Everybody is in here saying it's the same damn thing.
Well, because you all got your heads up your asses tonight for some ungodly reason.
I can't put my head up my ass. My ego's in the way.
Because I have double jointed.
I'm sorry.
Anyhow, next thing.
And then third, you MF'd him.
Okay, I said motherfucker. That I will say, but does he have a kid?
Yeah, and?
And he still has sex. And he still has sex with his wife. We all know this.
That
is a fact.
Debatable.
But it is still a fact.
Why do you look like you're calculating?
He has sex with his wife, who is the mother of his child.
The boss man told me I could talk.
Hold on, he has sex with his wife, who's the mother of his child. Which means,
did you get to film that?
We all know Ray's still going to town because we know Ray gets down like that. So technically, I am not wrong. So no, again, I will not apologize.
So you're not going to apologize for Ray, even though you triple insulted him in like 30 seconds.
I'm not apologizing for shit.
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to handle this. Pickle. He's all yours.
I'm just sitting here.
You're sitting here doing what?
Watching airplanes.
Do you need a name on your shirt while you're at it?
Yeah. He needs a name.
You need some crayons to go on your jacket with your helmet.
Folks, like, I forgot about that. Oh God, yeah. That was first show. Honest to God. And I mean, I was working with some old equipment that I had then. I didn't have the quality of equipment that I've got now. I was working on putting the studio back together. That was the first show, and I've got to go in and remaster it and see if I can condense it and clean it up. But the first show, I look at him just right out of the blue, look at him and go, so when are you going to pay back Sarah Jane? And he went off. And I mean all the way off. Like he was ready to kill. I can't believe you brought that up, you son of a. I mean, I got called everything under the sun but a white man. And it was, I mean, he just exploded all over that. You know, to go even better with it. We had just in those first few months, we had so much that happened. We actually had a girl that was on the show, and I wish Mike, my former co-host, was here tonight. We had a girl on the show. Her name was Tabby. Skinny as a rail, but still, attractive enough. And I was just starting my divorce at that point. And she ended up going into downtown Peoria and went and hit one of the adult stores. And she picked up some lollipops. Those lollipops were shaped like male genitals. And she's running around in downtown Peoria and going, would you like a dick sucker? And guys are like, what, really, you? Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I had the Peoria County Police, the Peoria County Sheriff's Department show up at my door over that one. Like, they were ready. They had cuffs out. They were ready. And they were ready to take me into jail over her. And I'm like, don't worry, she has been removed from the program permanently. Now, Rage got all jealous over that, and it's actually, he got all jealous over it right around the point that we were heading into Halloween. and there were so many other things that occurred just building up to that. But that's an example. And I would love to play that. I want to play the horror movies bit. But I want to do it when Mike can actually join me on the program and then I play it because he was present for that. Now Tabby also had this guy that, to describe a little better, this guy followed her around like he was a puppy dog that was trying to sniff her butt constantly. I mean, and had him trained to the point that when we were doing a show and I'm at my desk, I could look at him and go, hey, go make coffee. And he would go into my kitchen and make the coffee, bring it back. Would you like sugar or cream or milk? No, dude, I just want coffee. I got to work tonight. I mean, that was, and after I said it twice, he had it down, bring it to me black. But he had how everybody wanted their coffee. He had it down. Like, okay, this one gets this and this, had it down. I could have 5 people in that studio, which at first studio was really tight, and 5 people should not have been in there, but it did happen. I could have 5 people in there, and we were sweating like pigs. It was crazy. But I had some of the best shows in that old studio. That old studio was actually smaller than the living room and kitchenette here in my RV. It was a small room. But we had some of the best times in that studio that helped to really build and promote and get the show going. I mean, it was amazing. We get to, of course, we started. Yeah, coffee is easy to make. It's like, all right, bring it to me black. You know, all you got to do is pour it in my cup, bring me my cup. We're good. I don't think coffee should be tainted by anything other than Bailey's or Jameson or both. But I mean, that's my opinion. So we had a lot of fun in those. And then I ended up moving the studio out to this alcove that was between my bedroom and my living room in that house. Hey, Georgia. Because I had started seeing a girl that, as many of you know, that was not a good move for me. And you know, I realized it after the breakup, but the breakup came some years later. But yeah, it was really not a good move for me. I mean, that was a bad scenario all the way across. Uh so but it was also a bonus when I moved everything out there because when I did a show, if I had additional people there, I just ran the microphones over to the couch. And it was actually comfortable in my living room, and everybody was able to sit back and really enjoy the program then. We had some decent shows then. And then work got the best of me, and we did a couple here and there and I did some updates here and there throughout a couple years, and then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, I was like, I've got nothing else to do. And I set up my studio in my house at Goofy Ridge, and I dove face first right back into doing shows. And of course, I had different people from the past that came back, and we really got it up and running and rolling and having a great time. And then during that time frame, Steve became a listener, and as Steve became a listener, he got more actively involved in the chat room and, calling in because then I had a phone line that was up and running, and he was very actively involved with the show. And we did the baseball game. And it was at the baseball game he met Ray, which, as we all know, that moved into Ray inviting Steve onto the program. And Steve's starting to tell all of his history, which I will not go into tonight, but I did listen to Morning Disaster this morning, and I was laughing as some of that history was brought up. And just the various different and I'm very blessed to have seen in Steve's broad time as a broadcaster the various different stages of development that he's gone through from Jump Street to now. I still do not believe he is going to retain his title in April. And I really do think that Rhino's going to beat him for that title in April for the Tokerweight Championship. But that doesn't change the fact that just watching how he has developed and the build and where he's at now and seeing that, I can't help but be very happy for where he's at and kind of have a sense of contribution for him developing to where he's at. Oh, He'd kick out of the Midwest Speed Expo, huh? Or yeah, he would get a kick out of that. Hey, he really would. I would love to send Steve to some of that. It's not in the cards right now because I'm back in school. Hey, you know what? That's a priority right now. I mean, it's a big priority in my book. It's something I put off for a lot of years, and I'm ecstatic to finally be. Hey, you gotta bear with me. I studied all day today. But I'm ecstatic to be back into that and studying and reading and diving into something I've really got a lot of interest in, and I've had a blast so far. And I just feel like this experience this time has got nowhere to go but up. If it's starting good, this has got to end fantastic. I can't wait. I kind of wish I was at the end where I could look back and see some of the different trials I am going to face and go, man, I got through that. But you can't really enjoy the result without going through the journey. And I think that's something that a lot of people forget. And I'm at the start of this journey, and it's a difficult one. Oh, Volk is saying that Steve would get kicked out of the mid. Why would Steve get kicked out of the Midwest Speed Expo? That's what I'd like to know. I think that would be. I don't think it'd be for anything perverted at this point, would it? I mean, he's got his girlfriend now. I think he's backed away from the pervert stuff. But oh, for stealing. Okay. Yeah, that I can see. I bet you he's still stealing. I should go back and listen to the subscriber show from tonight, but I will probably do that tomorrow when I get in the truck and I'm working. It gives me something to listen to on Friday mornings. Oh, what's happening, Volk? You're taking off? Corey. You know what? In a way I don't, and in a way I do, because I would love to see Steve go through. Oh shit, snow's heading that way. So you got to get out and start running the plow, huh? But I would love to see Steve go through raising a child. I would laugh my ass off. Because as that was going on, he'd be going, man, you guys were right. Man, you guys were right. So is it falling now, or, me being down here, my heat just barely kicked back on for the night. If that tells you about where we're at here. We got up to about 73 today. But no, I would absolutely love. No, I'm glad I'm missing out on that, Georgia. You can have all that white stuff. I don't need any of that crap. I could be up there and watch the first snow hit and then get in my car and drive home and be absolutely fine with not having to shovel a flake of it. God, I remember when I was living out there in the ridge and that snow would hit, and the only place I would have to go get a meal was the Hialeah. Of course, I get a meal at the Hialeah. Next thing I know, I'm drinking, and then, All right, bud. You get some rest, and I'll catch you on. Probably catch you on Sunday night show, Volt. Uh, yeah, I can see that. It's kind of what happens when you're loading rock. But yeah, I mean, we just had. It's been a crazy couple of weeks here. Things are finally settling down. I'm hoping I get enough of my schoolwork done over next day or so that I can actually take a day and go pull the transmission out of my truck so I can get it to Georgetown and get it worked on. And get it rebuilt so I can have my truck running. Because, that old Chevy, it's got to be on the road. Can't have Fords out there making it look bad. That'd just be a damn shame. But I got to give that truck credit. It sat for probably every penny of 7 years and still started on the varnish. And tried to get its way down the road, Well, wanted to go, but the transmission's like, nope, I need rebuilt. Oh, man. No, there's been just all this craziness over the last couple of months. And, I don't think it's going to slow down anytime soon. I think, as we build up for the 10-year show and we start getting everything ready and we've got Smoker Mania around the corner. And Steve tried to defend his title, which I think he is going to fail. And Rhino's going to take that one. There's just so much going on this year. It's crazy. And then with me continuing my education now and finally moving forward with that, I'm going to be very busy with that as well. So no, I think the biggest one I want to say tonight is, yeah, right. Corey's right. Rhino exited the womb smoking. So, let's get some predictions here. You got Steve versus Rhino for the title. My prediction is Rhino's going to get it. And Rhino set it up this year. And it wasn't just trying to force an issue. He actually came to me and he talks. He goes, hey, can I set up how we're going to do this? Or are you willing to listen to that? And I said, well, I'll listen and I'll make a decision based on that. He goes, get an ounce. And I go, okay. Divide the ounce in half. Corey says, Steve will look like 420 did in the last one. Yeah, probably. But Rhino goes, divide that ounce in half. I said, okay. He goes, what's the show usually run? I said, 2 hours. He goes, give us 3. Person with the least amount left after the 3-hour time frame wins. I said, okay, but I want donations to go to Southern Fried too. He goes, we'll figure out different stuff for donations. So as we get closer, I will be putting the donation link from Southern Fried Radio into our chat on Mayhem. So you guys can join us for that. And then issue your challenges to Rhino and to Steve during Smoker Mania. But their primary goal is they each have a half an ounce. Whoever's got the least is the winner. If somebody passes out, I haven't been able to tell Steve this yet. But I'm adding a stipulation on the pass out. If somebody passes out, they're both getting a marker. And if one of them passes out, they have to draw a dick on that guy's. The other one has to draw a dick on the one that passes out's forehead. And if they can get the dick on the forehead completely, that is an automatic win. Because then I don't have to count it. The marker is going to tell the tale. So this year's going to be a lot of fun. And I told him, I told Rhino, I haven't told Steve yet, but I told Rhino, I'm like, look, this ain't just trying to draw like a nub, and go, oh, that's a dick. No, you got to draw it across the entire forehead. And hell, if you want to go for extra credit, draw a set of balls down to one cheek, but you've got to draw the whole thing. At Georgia, we were talking about that. I was like, man, I really think Sharpie would be better. And Rhino's like, oh, no. We got to get permanent marker. Permanent. So it's going to be there a while. And I'm like, you're only saying that because you think Steve's going to pass out. And he goes, oh, I know Steve's passing out. He's like, I'm going to smoke Steve completely under the table. I know Steve is passing out. Like, well, if he passes out before the 3 hours is up, you can draw that dick on him. You win the belt. There's no, he passed out. He was out. There's no coming back on that. So that's, I can't wait for when Steve will join us again so I can inform him that that new stipulation has been added to this year's Smoker Mania, that he might want to try to fight that one out, not go to sleep. We have agreed that farting is allowed as a means of defense. Steve's got an advantage there, because I don't know if any of you guys listening have ever been in a room when he farts, but I have. Oh God, be somewhere else. That's an odor, and it is not a pleasant odor. That is a very dangerous odor. But yeah, he lets one rip. Be somewhere else. Ooh. And I really do believe that's going to be a very difficult thing to overcome. But if somebody leaves the room, now they're due to count out. So it's going to be fun to watch it this year. 420, I've heard rumors that 420 thinks he could outsmoke Rhino, and I'm like, that'd be really fun to watch. Onlookers are going to be watching through here. So, yeah, they're going to be in a private room with cameras, and we're going to watch from the cameras. We're not going to be watching them from the location. So, I mean, other than that, you guys, I wanted to take a little bit of time, and I wanted to say thank you for all the support and for keeping us going and being such a big part of this. But the fact is tonight I knew I was going to make it a short show. And the honest to God fact is I need to get some rest because I got to work tomorrow. So, you guys, thank you for tuning in and being a part of it and livening up the chat room. And I will see you guys on Sunday night. So, everybody, take care. Be safe out there. If you're up there and you're dealing with the snow, be very cautious. And I'll see you Sunday night. Take care and good night, everybody.